first question we want to answer today. What is an association? What is an association? If associations are a major capacity building factor for leadership, what is an association? I am actually not going to use a dictionary definition. I am going to define an association in the context of our discussion. So I'm not going to use a dictionary definition. I'm going to discuss it within this context. Now, an association is any relationship you enter into that has the potential to influence or affect your leadership pursuit. An association is any relationship you enter into that has the potential to influence or affect your leadership pursuit. And I'm talking about this in the context of positive influence, not negative influence. So we are talking about any relationship that has the potential to positively influence or affect your leadership pursuit. So from here, we establish that associations actually breed influence, or associations are actually for influence. All right. I want us to look at some features of associations. Some features of associations. We are going to look at 3 of them tonight. 3 basic features of associations. Now, the first feature I'll be speaking about answers the who question. The who question. And it has to do with people. The first feature of associations is that you must know the people you are associating with. So who are you associating with? Who are you in league with? Who are you in that relationship with that has the capacity or the potential to influence or affect your leadership pursuit? So the first question is who, and that has to do with the people. And we are going to look at that in tonight's discussion. Now, the second feature of association answers the when question. The when question. And this has to do with timing. So that in addition to who you are in a league with, in addition to who you are in that relationship with, the next question is, what is the timing of that association? What is the timing of that relationship? Because you should know that timing is so important when it comes to associations. For example, I remember in the first session, last 2 weeks, there was a question that I answered. And then I was speaking about the fact that there was a question about knowing the right time for exposure. And then I spoke about the fact that timing is extremely important. And then I related it to what I spoke about in our first session, that when you look at Abraham and David, you see that God actually exposed them at a specific time. It was after David's call had been established that God actually exposed him to Saul. So that brings to play the concept of timing. So whoever you are supposed to associate with has its timing. And in addition to that, there are what I call seasonal associations. Some associations are seasonal and some associations are permanent. So there are people you'll be connected to in a particular season of life. For those people, you may never meet them again, but they will come to play a major role in your life. But after some time, you may never get to meet them again. But when you think back, you realize that they played a major role in your leadership pursuit. Those are seasonal associations. Then there are permanent associations. There are some people that when you meet, you continuously meet them till. Those are actually permanent associations. So associations have their timing, and you must be sensitive to also understand the timing of each association. Is this a temporary or seasonal association, or it is a permanent association? And also meeting the right people at the right time. So this is actually the second feature of associations. So the people and then the timing. Then we are going to look at the third feature of associations. The third feature actually answers the why question. The why question. Why this association? Why this association? So that it has to do with purpose. Purpose. To mean that every association has its purpose. There is a reason why God connects you to every single person he connects you to. There is a reason for every single person you meet in life. Now, if you miss the purpose feature of an association, you are not likely to benefit much from that association. So you observe that sometimes some people meet some people in life, and because they don't know the purpose, they are not able to answer the why question of that association. They are not able to exploit the positives of that relationship. After some time, when they have lost that association, it now occurs to them that, do you know something? I think that person came into my life at that point in time for a particular purpose, but maybe some way, somehow, the person is no longer in my life. So concerning every association, in addition to knowing the people and then the timing, we must also be exposed to the purpose of that association. So every association has its purpose. Remember, we define association as a relationship you enter into that has the potential to influence or affect your leadership pursuit. And now we are saying that it has a purpose. Now, I remember last year in one of our discussions at the devotion, I spoke about factors of sustenance. When you know the purpose of an association or a relationship, what now comes to mind is, what are the factors of sustenance of this particular relationship? So in your leadership building endeavor, in your leadership building, capacity building pursuit, God brings some people your way. You must know their purpose. If you get to know their purpose, you will now understand how to sustain those associations. So many times, people lose associations because they don't know the purpose of that association. What aspect of my life is this person in to build? What input is this person in my life to make? What impact is this person in my life to make? When you know, you will now know how to sustain that association or that relationship. So I remember when we were speaking about it, we said sometimes the factor of sustenance of a relationship or an association is communication. So if we pick things like friendship, a relationship like friendship, usually what sustains friendship is communication and not finances. If you pick an employer-employee relationship, what sustains is what? The rendering of service and payment of salary. But when it comes to friendships, usually what sustains friendships is communication. So once I know that the purpose of this association is friendship, I will know that what must sustain it is communication. So then I must communicate consistently with the person I'm in that association with, so that I can benefit from that association. So these are the three features of associations. So you realize that it is actually God's desire to help us meet the right people at the right time for the right purpose. The right people at the right time for the right purpose, because of what they bring on board.